Hello. I'm going through some interesting things here, and so I thought I'd share a bit um, some of my ideas about what's going on. It's amazing what comes through when we connect up with Source. I'm constantly amazed by the journals as they come through. It's very strange, knowing that it's your hands doing the writing, but it's not your head where this stuff is being generated. It's very strange. We get so used to identifying with the mind. And so um, I journaled it, and I've mentioned a time or two how I was watching a Dimitri Halley video, as a matter of fact, and I had this experience where my higher self came through and basically said goodbye to 3D. And I'm still not over it. I don't know if I'll ever be. Some things it takes a long time to digest, the amazement of it. And so, what I've got going on is what I'm so sure many of us do, and that is we've got one foot in both worlds. Sometimes we're manifesting from our higher dimensional self. Now, I'm just going to slap a number on it. It's kind of meaningless, but I'll just say maybe it's 5D. We all have a full life there. We have an identity that isn't just some shadowy thing that hovers over the 3D self, and its only reality is to be perceiving this. 5D is a world and a realm all its own. You'll have, as you leave your body, as you astral travel, the room will be somewhat different because you're on a different density or dimension. Now, I can't say I have much of an understanding of this, just sharing experiences. All right, so there are times when our higher self speaks through us. Now, that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is to say there are times when we're functioning from our higher dimensional self. Now, we're blessed here. We've got something strange going on. Ascension has been the way that one graduates from 3D since the get-go, as far as I know. Only usually it wasn't a physical bodily ascension. Usually there's the body in the grave or on the gat or getting burned, cremated, and it's the spirit or soul that has completed its cycles and sufficiently tapped into everything that 3D has to offer and done well enough with it that it's time to move on. Well, first of all, that's happening for a lot of us, and the planet, and the solar system, and for all I know, the galaxy. Oh, I keep forgetting to get offline before I do this. And so that's unusual in itself, is that we're having and going to be having mass ascensions. And we might see that if a time comes and if there's some kind of a storm or earthquake or something, the people that cross over in that event, they may well be ascending, at least some of them. I mean, for so many of us, this is our last 3D lifetime. Isn't that a nice thing to adjust and adapt to and to accept? I mean, that's what this is all about, right? Okay, so that being the case, what I'm finding is that my oh so humanness is also popping up. And so, well, I'll just give you a for instance. I'm living my life so publicly anyway, it's pretty strange, but I get a disability check from Social Security, And every few years, they'll do a review on that to decide if it should continue the payments or not. And my case has come up for review, and it's perfectly nerve-wracking. And so I get to watch that. And that's fear, you know? And so I get to look at it, feel it, be with it, knowing that it needs to be mastered. You know, it's energy that needs to be processed, because any kind of fear energy that we have hanging around, and most of it is subconscious, it takes things in our lifetime in order to trigger it, in order for us to even know that it's there. You know, there are a lot of people that think they're doing a whole lot better than they really are, and they just don't know it because of the 7% conscious mind deal, and the rest of it inaccessible, you know, subconscious, unconscious, and so on. So what I'm finding, and I'm good with this, but what I'm finding is things are being brought up in order to show me the places that need my attention, where this energy is trapped and it needs to be processed. And it's not fun. It's really not. It is so bizarre. On the one hand, your higher self comes through and you get this whole experience where all of 3D is being released and said goodbye to. And you know in that moment that you're finished, that you're, you know, this is a true thing. On the other hand, you have something like this come up, and where's that higher self now, you know, when we're dealing with the fear? And so it's good. I mean, it's all good. Can we begin to look at it this way? It's all good. Anything that's coming up is beautiful and appropriate. It's a gift. Even if I was to lose my main income here, my Social Security disability, that would be the very best thing that could be for me. Now, naturally, I want to process the energy, which the only reason that something like that would happen would be that there's more energy to be processed and I didn't let go of it. Okay? But even so, as I've shared before, my way is to sit with it and to feel it, as nasty as it is. I've got all kinds of forms and things. I sent in one set of forms and I just knew it was over. You know, when I listed the way things are, believe it or not, they sent me another set of 3 different sets of forms that I have to fill out again. And I found that while I'd processed a lot of the energy with the first set of forms, obviously not all of it, or I would be perfectly calm now. And this wouldn't be a bother. I would be surrendered, in other words. And so this is attachment. When we're looking at fear, we're looking at attachment. And so it's important to see, just to see into it, you know, the who am I, the what am I, and to look at the underpinnings of these things that come up. Just look. That's all. I'm not doing anything, just being with it, with the intent to process it and not be afraid of it. And so what I did is I sat here and dreamed up the worst case scenario. And I think this is really cool. I mean, it helps me out. And so the worst case scenario would be that I would lose this. Okay. So then what I did is I calculated how many years until I would be old enough, or the body would be old enough, to draw regular Social Security for which I wouldn't have to qualify. Well, that's another 6 years. And so I would have to find a way to survive for 6 years. Okay? And so, you know, I made friends with that. And I would just sell the place and get a little RV, a little bitty one, and find a way, you know, to live off the proceeds of the sale, live in the RV until such time, you know, I mean, whatever it is, folks, it doesn't matter what it is, we will get by. you know? I'm not going to be homeless, but even if I was to become homeless, I would get by. When we're looking at the things that scare us, we're looking at our attachments. And it's just useful, that's all. It takes a lot of the sting out of life and out of the difficulties that come up if you know that it's coming up for the highest possible purpose. It's to help you ascend. It's to help me ascend. And we have to trust that our best good is being seen to. And most of all, we've got to shower away all of this fear. I mean, we have been so programmed into it that there's layers and levels and dimensions and densities and crannies and corners. I mean, you just never know where your next fear is going to pop up. Sometimes it'll show itself as anger. But if you look under the anger, you will generally find fear, you know? So anyway, this is just putting in a word for being grateful. I mean, now I've got to admit, this is unusual for me. And it shows you that I do have a level of attachment to something here because I haven't yet embraced spirit with gratitude for this. You can offer gratitude for the punch in the nose that you get. You don't offer it to the puncher. You offer it to Source for having brought it to you because you know that that's the perfect thing. And that gratitude is as magical a thing as you can get. Gratitude opens doors. Gratitude multiplies wealth and abundance. Gratitude multiplies joy. It's a multiplication action, but you're not doing it for any reason. It just naturally erupts. Now, it doesn't at first naturally erupt to be grateful for the tough stuff. Thank you, Lord, that I'm being, going through all these hoops for Social Security. Thank you so much. That doesn't crop up naturally, but we can do that. It can come from our knowing, our deep-seated belief that life has our best interests at heart. Life is love. There's nothing else. In spite of any seeming to the contrary, it's just a seeming. It's just the play of mind. Okay? Now, naturally, I'm talking to me here. Okay? I'm not talking to you as usual from some great point of mastery. But I think my lessons are legitimate to share. The ones that I'm receiving, because I know I'm not alone. None of us are alone in what we're going through. And I know there's a great comfort in hearing your own stuff out of somebody else's mouth. And then we get into the these eyes God thing. And, things begin to blend into the higher dimensions. And that's what we've got going on. So the more of this fear and this negative energy we can process and work our way through, what happens is you're automatically in higher consciousness once you've done that. And as we keep doing it, our frequency rises. We've got all kinds of helpers, but let me tell you something. Right now, our auras stink. Have you heard that before? If you've got a really high dimensional being that, I don't know, even your higher dimensional self on a really high level, to come down and be present with you, especially when you're not like in meditation and really in higher consciousness, is not real pleasant for that one. We've got stuff in our aura that has a stench. It really does. And it's this energy that's impure. It's just in a matrix that's not harmonious. And the higher and higher we rise in frequency, we get more and more sensitive to things, to energy, to frequencies, to dissonance, to this kind of thing. And so to make your angels, your guides, and the higher beings, or the higher dimensional beings, they're not higher beings, feel more comfortable in our presence, we need to not only bathe the body, but to bathe the aura this way. By doing this, we're self-cleansing our energy force field, or our aura. Okay, there's something else I want to address, and it's got directly to do with ETs. I have been listening to, this is long enough. My videos have been getting mighty long. I think I'm going to stop this one and I'll start another one right away, and that way it won't be some great big long thing. Thank you guys. See you again soon.